Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. How are you? I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to English grade 6. We are on our unit number 6 and we are going to see another SLO from our main lesson. Now, we are going to talk about past perfect tense. Yes, this is a lesson about tenses. I hope that you are very much aware of them. Why do we use them and what and how we can say things using those different kinds of tenses. Either it's in the past form, present or future. Now, for today's video lesson, we are going to see past tense. So recall your information and knowledge about tenses and especially past tenses. Now let's read our students' learning outcome. It says, use past perfect for a past action occurring before another past action. For example, I had done my homework before my father reached home. Now, here, let's see that again. We use past perfect for a past action that was completed in the past and for another purpose as well, that we want to show two past actions and one is occurring before another one and then the second one happened, just like in the example. Now let's see how we can do it with examples. Now students, you can see this vertical linkage over here, and now it's time to think about the lesson. Think about that why we are studying it and how we are going to use it. For the brainstorming session for today, you have to think of two things, two incidents, events that happened in the past, one before the other. You write a sentence using the past perfect tense to show which happened first. So we are talking about two things happening in the past. They have happened, finished. Now we are going to mention them one after the other, but there is a trick, there is a way for doing this. Think about it. Think about two past events that happened yesterday with you. Good. Come up with your answers, write them down, discuss them with your fellows and teacher, and we can start our main lesson, which is about now. Before that, now let's see how we can do it. I hope that you have done it and your answers are right. I had eaten dinner before my friend called. Now, there are two past happenings, two things that happened in the past. Dinner was eaten and a friend called. Now, I had eaten dinner. It means that in the past I had finished my dinner before my friend called. Then the friend called right after having and eating dinner. She had met him once before their official meeting, or I had read the book before watching the movie. This is further explanation and examples of that one example which we saw in the students' learning outcome, that if two actions happened in the past, how do we say one after the other? Just like in the first example, I had eaten dinner. See the word, the helping verb had, because we use had for past. Eaten is the past participle. It is the past form of the verb eat. And before my friend called. Called is also in the past form. So you can see the whole sentence is in the past form, and we used before, or we can use the word after to show the relationship and the one that thing happened that happened early and then what happened next. So by using past perfect tense, we can do this really well. You can read these two examples as well. And now let's move to the main lesson. Let's do a quick recall of simple past tense. The simple past is a verb tense indicating action that occurred where? In the past time, and which does not extend into the present time. The simple past tense of regular verbs is marked by the ending. Now, how do they end? They end with the word d or ed or T. Notice this, students. D, ed, and T. Keep that in mind. Irregular verbs have a variety of endings. The simple past is not accompanied by helping verbs. Now, we are not going to use helping verbs. Okay? Now, let's see. The past tense we use when something happened, but it is not happening now. It is not happening in the present time. And you can see the words D, ed, and T at the end of regular verbs. But if they are not like that, then they will be called irregular verbs. Why do we use the past tense? We use it to tell something that happened once in the past, yesterday, or in the history. We are currently in present, so it means this is not happening right now. Something that happened again and again. We use this scenario as well. And third one is something that was true for some time in the past, but it is not in the state of truth right now. For example, she went to market. I played basketball with my siblings. Now, went. Is it a regular or irregular verb? This is a regular verb because it's ending with T. I played. Is it a regular or irregular verb? It is a regular verb because it's ending in ed. Now, there are no helping verbs. You can see no am, is, are, was, were, nothing. So, this is a past tense in the simplest form that we can have. Now, let's talk about the past perfect tense. Why do we call it past perfect? Because the action has completed in the past. Let's see. The past perfect tense is used to describe an action that was completed action in the past time. It was completed. It is formed by using the auxiliary verb had. It means that unlike simple past tense, here we use auxiliary verbs and helping verbs like had. Had is very much common, students, so you need to be very careful and use it in your past perfect tense. So auxiliary verb had with the past participle of the main verb. It means the main verb will be transformed into the past form or the past participle form of that. For example, I had done my homework. Now, what kind of tense is it? Yes, it is in the past because done is in the past. Had is a past form of having or have. We can see the word had over here. It's an auxiliary verb. Done is the past form of do, and then my homework. So in this sentence, had done is the past perfect form of do. Do will be transformed into had done. All right. The past perfect had done shows that the action of doing homework was completed right at that time in the past. This is why we call it past perfect tense. And you can see we used had done, the past form of do, the past form of have, and then we can achieve our past perfect tense. Now, on page 50 of your book, again, let's see. We use past perfect for a past action occurring before another past action. This is what we talked about in our brainstorming. If you remember it, let's see the formula of making this. She had finished her work before her boss arrived. Had finishes, third form, finished her work before her boss arrived. Another, the past form of arrive. So you can see the word had, past form of these two different verbs. So this tells you that it's a past perfect tense for a past action that occurs before another action in the past. For example, they had left the party before we got here. The train had already left by the time we reached the station. Notice the similarities. Your subject, it could be a noun or a pronoun, then had, the past form of have, then the past form of the past participle of the verb leave and the party before we got there, and this is also a past form of go. Here you can see the past form of reach. So you can see the formula and the making of these sentences are very much the same. So notice this in mind, that had and the past forms, the past participles of the main verb will be used in making your past perfect tense. Now here, students, is a simulation link you can watch later on, and for your classroom activity, what are you going to do is work in pairs. One partner or one of you has to write a sentence in past simple tense, all right, and your partner in the past perfect tense. Now partners have to join their sentences together according to the rules taught in the class. Now join them together, see them that are they working in the past simple and how they are working in the past perfect tense. Now here's your worksheet that you're going to solve for your homework. You have to write 5 sentences of your own using the past perfect tense that we have learned in this lesson. Make sure to show 2 actions, one happening before the other. So now at the end, we have all these resources for your understanding that you are going to check them out and you're going to solve them to increase your understanding. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that we have achieved our students' learning outcome about past perfect tense. Now practice your other tenses as well, the present, past, and also the future one. Thank you so much for listening. Allah Hafiz.